Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video, which is going to be the next episode in my series 10 Heroes 1-0, where I look up a well-known makeup brand of which I have a lot of makeup, a lot of experience of the brand and their products, and I tell you my top 10 products from that brand and one that I think is worth skipping altogether. Today we are doing MAC. MAC, a brand that many of us was like a gateway brand into the higher end of makeup and luxury makeup. That's kind of like a lot of people's first step into more expensive makeup and more luxurious makeup. So if you are interested in finding out what is still great at MAC and what to save your money on, then keep watching. So first up, I'm going to talk about a product that I no longer have in my possession because I did a big clear out recently of my single eyeshadow. There's a clue, and found a load of these and they were like 10 years old and they looked fine. But I really felt like it was, you know, my moral obligation to get rid of those because it's ridiculous. But I am talking about the paint pots. I mean, these take me back. These take me back to the Desi Perkins heyday of YouTube when all we did was soft ochre MAC paint pot on our lids and that was our eyeshadow primer every time we did our makeup. Am I the only one? I also used to use, oh gosh, I can't think of the Painterly, yes. That was also another one that was used, very popular choice for an eyeshadow primer, and oh, they were so good. Definitely too thick for me these days to use as an eyeshadow primer, but back in the day what a treat. But there are a lot of these paint pots now that I think are such great one and done shadows. Groundwork is a great, very easy going, very natural, like one and done, buff all over the lid shadow. There are a lot of great colors. The shimmer formula as well is beautiful. They're very easy to use, especially by cream eyeshadow standards, and they last forever. They don't crease, they don't budge, they are hardcore. And as with like a lot of things in MAC's offering, they have a great selection of shades. So if you like a single like one and done cream eyeshadow, those are like some of the best around. Next up, I want to talk about a skincare item. I guess it's a skincare item. I think it is. I'm going with yes. I sound like Peter Rabbit. But it's the MAC Cleanse Off Oil and I have this little baby sized one. I love it. Now I keep this little, this was like originally I guess a sample like with purchase or something, and I keep this little container forever because this is always what I take with me whenever I go anywhere, whether it's on holiday or just like a couple of days with family or whatever it is, a weekend away. This is what I always take to take my makeup off. I prefer the Pharmacy Solid Balm to the Cleanse Off Oil from MAC, but this is like a close second. And before I discovered that Pharmacy Balm, this was my favorite ever cleansing oil. I've tried all of them or probably not all of them, but I've tried a lot of them. You hear me. And this one is so good at getting everything off without leaving any trace, without leaving any residue, and very quick and easy to deal with a lot of mascara. As you guys know that I like a lot of mascara, this gets through it easily and it gets it all off. And I really like it. It's really lightweight. It has a nice, inoffensive, light scent, and I find it perfect. I don't like to take a huge big tub of like cleansing balm with me when I go away. And I find if I fill this up from my bigger bottle, then this will like last me my whole week if I'm going away for a week. So it's just perfect for travel. I absolutely love it. Such a great makeup remover. Very, very good. Has been around for a long time. And MAC's Skincare, some good stuff in there. Next up, let's talk about the first of two lipstick formulas. I mean, I could have included about 5 or 6 lipstick formulas in this video because MAC, I mean, lipstick is like a MAC staple. I feel like so many of us had hundreds of MAC lipsticks when we were in our teens. I know I did. It was like, oh, getting a MAC lipstick. I went through for like 3 or 4 of the same shade when I was growing up, and it was just like a staple. Everybody had to have a MAC lipstick. They are iconic. And still to this day, they are so good and so underrated still. They have some of the best bullet matte lipsticks there are. Their Lustreglass formula, which is the one that I'm wearing today and the one that I want to talk about next, is so good. It has a lovely amount of pigmentation to it, a great amount of shine, and you can always count on MAC to come out with like the shades. This is Femmeomenon. and it's my favorite of the bunch. It's just the perfect warm caramelly nude. I absolutely love it. I find it so flattering, and it's quite a unique shade as well. Super warm, very pretty, very wearable, but I just love this formula. I have a lot of them. I wear them a lot. You know, I love a shiny lipstick, and these are lovely, and they always have such a great range of shades in every product that they offer. But lipsticks, come on, you can't go wrong. This is, I think, my favorite formula from MAC throughout all of their different finishes. The Lustreglass, the newer Lustreglass formula. Amazing. Next up, let's talk about this Prep and Prime. This is the Skin Refine Zone treatment, and this is like a pore minimizing primer. What I find it amazing for is controlling the oil and shine around my nose throughout the day. I don't really get oily. I don't get oily on the bulk of my face, but I do, like a lot of us, get a bit shiny to the edges or the sides of my nose, or like the tip of my nose throughout a long day, especially if my foundation isn't holding up so well. If I like put a tiny amount of this all over my nose and just to the sides of my nose, I don't get any shine. It's so good. I don't think I'd want to put this all over my whole face. It's literally just, that's why it's a Dior size. It's there to smooth, blur, refine your pores, control oils, keep those at bay, and it does such a good job. This is always the primer that I recommend to anyone who asks me, oh, like how, you know, do I recommend, is there any pore minimizing primers that I recommend, or any primers to stop my nose getting shiny, or to stop makeup like not adhering to my nose? This is the one I always recommend. It was recommended to me by our amazing friend Mel Thompson. So it is just, I've gone through like 3 of these. It's just such a great staple. It does what it says on the tin. It's very reliable, and I don't think there's like anything else like this out there. MAC are still bringing the innovative products. They're still there. They're still bringing these innovations. Don't count them out. Next up, another absolute banger and a classic from MAC that still to this day is like always on my vanity. It like barely a day goes by where I don't use this, but it is the Prep and Prime Fix Plus spray, finishing spray, not originally touted as a setting spray. I think now they call it a setting spray, but for those of us who weren't born yesterday, this is a finishing spray. We like to soak ourselves in this as a final step for makeup. Spray your brushes to get a bit more kapow from your shadows, or to use a bit more stick if you are using, you know, a super shimmery shade or a glitter shade, to get it to stick to your brush. Whether you want to dial up the intensity of your highlighter, a bit of this on the brush and you're going to get there. Spray your sponge with this and you're going to get a flawless finish. It's just an all over very versatile product. I had to keep this bottle from the spring collection because it was just glorious, but I just refill this whenever this runs out. I just keep this bottle and refill it with the boring plain one. But it's just so, it's such a, again, it's a staple product. It's one that can do a lot of different things, and it's always useful, and I just always have to have one because it's such a classic, iconic product, and it's so handy for so many different jobs. And you know, I don't want to use like a setting spray. I use my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray when I'm trying to make my makeup last longer. If I just want to kind of get everything to melt into the skin, if I'm feeling like I look a bit heavy or I look a bit powdery, or I want to use like on a brush with makeup, then I don't want to waste my setting spray, you know. So I feel like this is like one that you can really just go to town on, and you don't feel like you're, you know, using something that's for another purpose. It's just an all-around handy little spray. Next up, MAC's lip liners. Much like their lipsticks, just an amazing range of colors to choose from. That alone is such a standout, that they have so many different colors. So like whenever you're looking for like the perfect liner to go with a lipstick, MAC will have it. Okay, they have such a great shade range. So my 2 favorite MAC liners, both of which were Lisa Eldridge recommendations, are Hover and Chicory. I'm wearing Hover today with my Femmeomenon lipstick. I got it out first time that time. So we have Hover and Chicory. So Chicory is a sort of very warm brown, and then Hover is a more sort of neutral brown, just the perfect kind of richer nude lip liners. I think Chicory was one that Lisa Eldridge had originally when she had her list before her own liners came out, and she had a list of liners that would accompany her lipsticks. I think Chicory, was it for Affair or it might have been for Cinnabar? I can't remember, but both of these shades are very versatile and will go with a lot of different nude lipsticks. But the lip liner formula from MAC is still absolutely amazing, long wearing, nice and creamy, very pigmented, and again, just the number of shades to choose from is such a bonus because they're going to have a liner for whatever lipstick you're looking for. Next up, another kind of iconic product category from MAC is their blush, and again I could have included like 3 or 4 different formulas from MAC when it comes to blush, but my absolute favorite from them, and the one that I feel like is a bit of a standout, is their extra dimension blushes. And I feel like they're so underrated. People don't talk about these, and they, are you joking? They're so beautiful. This shade is Fairly Precious, and this is the one that I keep in my top drawer. It's just so stunning. It is super, super glowy. It's like a highlighter, a highlighting blush, okay? So some people it's going to be too much. For me, it's not. I love them. They're so glowy. They don't enhance a lot of texture. They stay nice and just glowy on the skin, but they are, like, as you can see, very glowy. They are like a highlighter with colour. But I absolutely love these in the spring. They're so pretty. You know, MAC's blushes, whether it's the matte finishes, the mineralized blushes, the extra dimension blushes, they are always so beautiful. Even like their cream color bases, they've got so many different blush formulas. All of them, you just can't really go wrong. You can't go wrong with MAC blushes. They're always stunning. Again, they have amazing shades and colors and lots of different options of finish to choose from. This for me is the winner. I just love the finish of these, and I think they're quite special and unique. I don't think many brands have a super highlighting blush like this, and so pretty. I love them. And they're very underrated. More people should know about them. Another kind of skincare item from MAC that is an absolute staple to me and a repurchase probably, I'm going to say 5 or 6 times at this point. And it is their lip scrub, the Lip Scrubtious. This is the vanilla fragrance. I've had another one. I think it was strawberry, which I had to purchase against my will because this one was like sold out. And I can't be without it. You can see there, I've nearly used this one up. This is probably, like I said, the 5th or 6th one of these that I've gone through. I use this every single day, morning and night, on my lips, and it's so good without being like overly aggressive, without, you know, like skinning you or being too much or too aggressive. It's just perfect, and it smells delightful, and it leaves a really nice sort of slightly lip oily residue, which you can just leave on, and it's like a balm, or it really is lovely, feels very nice and caring on your lips, and you don't have to like wipe it off afterwards. Basically it dissolves into this beautiful lip oil, and then it will just soak into your lips throughout the day or night depending on when you apply it, which I really like. I don't like having one of those lip scrubs where you're scrubbing forever and then you have to like wipe off your lips to get rid of it. This doesn't do that. It sort of breaks down into an oil as you're using it. It's so nice. Smells delightful. Okay, I love it. It's like my favorite ever lip scrub. I've bought so many of them. Again, a really underrated product. Next, let's talk about the second lipstick formula that I chose today as my second favorite from the brand. And these are their PowderKiss Bullet formula. So they have like a PowderKiss, a liquid. There's all different ones actually. I feel like there's like a moussey one, a liquid one, and there's the original PowderKiss Bullet lipsticks. This is the shade Sultry Move, which is my favorite. These, again, they're really quite unique. They are so velvety. They're a matte, but they're very comfortable, and they make your lips so soft, like you've blotted them. They're very blurring and flattering on lip lines and texture. They have a lovely, delightful smell. They go on like a dream. Again, they have the stunning color range to choose from that MAC always offer, but they wear really nicely without being drying and uncomfortable. They will transfer a little. They're not like a dry down liquid matte, but it's this finish that for me is very special. Shall we put it on so you can see what I'm talking about? So there we have Sultry Move. It's just so smooth and velvety. There's something like cushiony, pillowy about your lips when you use these. I love them. They feel like nothing. They feel like so lightweight. They're so comfortable. They don't dry down your lips. They do have a matte finish, but it's a very velvety, pillowy, soft, like focus matte finish. Very unique again and really beautiful, I think. And now finally for the heroes. The hero to end all heroes for me, the absolute banger that brought MAC like straight back on my radar as like a contender in among my favorite products. It is the MAC Stack Mascara. This is the Mega Brush. Don't get mixed up because they have the Mega Brush and the Micro Brush, which is the skinny one. This is the Mega, of course. What did you think I was going to use? This is such a great mascara. I love everything about it. I love the packaging. I love this really bristly, rubberized brush with the extra little bits on the end to get right into the corner and right on the edges. I love that this is usable on top and bottom lashes without causing a disaster. I love that you can literally build this for days and it's so dramatic without being clumpy, and there's no flaking and there's no smudging and transferring throughout the day. An absolute banger. It has become my absolute favorite, like big fat dramatic lash mascara when I want to go all in with the mascara. This is my go-to now. It's such a great mascara, and this is my third one, so you know, a repurchase in this day and age says a lot. And now we come to the zero, the one product that I feel like is not worth the money, is not that great, is not my favorite, one to avoid, one to save your money. There's better out there. And it is the Studio Fix foundation. This foundation has been around for so long. It's been around for so long, and don't get me wrong, when I was like 15, this was like my foundation. Like I think it was everybody's foundation at 15, but as the years have gone by, it's no longer my favorite. It's too heavy, it's too much coverage, it smells of so much paint. I can barely breathe when it's opened. I just feel like it's not for me anymore. It's very matte as well. It is really long wearing, and I think again, if you're a teenager and you want full beat, full glam matte finish foundation, you probably still love it as much today as I did like 20 years ago. So I don't think it's a terrible foundation. It's just no longer for me at all. And I feel like foundation in general is MAC's weak spot, maybe along with like their eyeshadow. I feel like those are the two categories they really need to like work on and improve on and like catch up, because I feel like they've got a little behind. I think their eyeshadow, their singles, some of their single metallics are beautiful, but whenever they release a palette, I feel like it slightly always falls flat or misses the mark a little. And foundations, I think they've released so many now over the years, and I don't think we've had like an absolute fire smash hit foundation or concealer. That's where I feel like MAC could work on it. Like Studio Fix has been around for like as long as me. It's time we moved on. We had a revamp. This is one of the products that I actually feel like would be worth reformulating, rather than all these brands who reformulate like fairly recent foundations for no reason and ruin them. I feel like Studio Fix could actually benefit from an update. It's been a while. So there you have it. Those are my top 10 and one bottom product from MAC. Please let me know, what's your favorite product from MAC? Do you still use them? Are they still on your radar, or did you leave them in the 90s? Like many people, have you forgotten they exist? Are you still checking for them as a brand? I think they still have some great staples, some really good ranges, some really good color stories. So yeah, I think they're a little underrated. I think they've gone off the radar for a lot of people, but they're still some absolutely amazing products. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.